want to downscale because the maximum I could stream with my earlier graphics card, or maybe if you have a worse internet connection, which I'll talk a little bit about soon here, you'd want the output scaled resolution to possibly be 720p or 1080p, in which case you will have to do a downscale filter. I would recommend the Lankos 36 samples one, but if you can only do the 16 samples one, there's not that much of a difference between the two. The 36 samples is definitely higher quality, but the 16 samples is easier on your hardware. So if your hardware isn't that great, 16 samples. And then common FPS. For Valheim, I used to do 30 FPS, but I noticed that if I can do 60, I will do 60 for gaming specifically, especially if you're playing like an FPS game, first-person shooter, or something where it's like lots of action going on. It's kind of important to have that frame rate be a little higher if your computer can handle it. But I streamed Valheim at 30, and technically my game was only running in like 24 FPS because of the fact that my hardware just was not that great, and it still worked. You know, a little bit eye fatiguing over time to watch, but it still worked. So then yeah, those will be your settings for the video resolution. Now we'll go back up to the output tab. These are where the important settings are. So we're on the streaming, and by the way, you'd want to click this little drop down menu and select the advanced, because by default I think it'll be on simple, and then click the streaming tab, because that's what we'll be talking about today. Again, if you guys want another video on recording specifically and the best settings for that, do let me know. But starting off with the first streaming settings tab here, I have the streaming encoder, or the audio encoder, sorry, as the FFmpeg AAC, which is what I use. It's pretty much default for everything, I think, now. But the video encoder, this is what's really important and will vary between hardware and internet speed.